Comunidad. Ni hao, ni ho. My name is Jennifer Rajkumar, and I'm running for City Council in District 1. I am the proud daughter of immigrants who came to New York, where I was born and raised. To honor the promise that this country gave my parents, I dedicated my life to social justice. I went to UPenn, I went to Stanford Law School, and I became a civil rights lawyer. I dedicated my entire career to serving the voiceless and the disenfranchised. But the greatest honor for me so far has been to serve you as your locally elected Democratic district leader, to serve the people of Lower Manhattan. And I am that Democratic district leader on your corner, talking to a neighbor and seeing how I can translate that neighbor's concerns to the level of policy. I am now running for City Council because the past 4 years, we've had a failure of leadership. The current council member is in the pocket of big real estate and big landlords. Meanwhile, the rents keep going up, people are driven out, small businesses are closing, and our green space is being eaten up. We have to change course. And it's for this reason that I stand before you. I have been endorsed by grassroots groups from the east side to the west side. I have been endorsed by the Downtown Independent Democrats, by the Village Independent Democrats, by the Village Reform Democrats, by the Sierra Club, by the 504 Club for Disability Rights, by tenant leaders on the Lower East Side. The list goes on and on. Community leaders from all across the district know one thing. District 1 needs new change. It needs a strong, fresh, active voice, and it needs it now. Thank you so much.
Did answer the three priorities question.
Okay. So I'm glad Councilmember Chin started with land use. That is also my top issue. She talked about historic moments. I'll tell you about another historic moment. When Councilmember Chin approved a 2 million square foot expansion into Greenwich Village. That is going to destroy the neighborhood and change that character of the neighborhood forever. And she approved this ULURP against the unanimous wishes of Community Board 2, against almost every resident in Greenwich Village. So when she says that she is interested in land use, well, I'm interested in land use too. Okay? We need a council member in there who doesn't just do whatever real estate developers want whenever our community goes through a land use review process. This happened again in the South Street Seaport. Howard Hughes Corporation came to the South Street Seaport and they wanted to take over the South Street Seaport and make major changes. The community all came together. Hundreds of people came to City Hall and said, Councilmember Chin, please negotiate protections for our South Street Seaport Museum. Negotiate protections to protect our world-class food market. What did she do? Nothing. Howard Hughes Corporation got the entire South Street Seaport and has opened it up for Howard Hughes to build luxury apartments and luxury hotels people cannot afford. So we need a council member in there that actually represents us. Now, it's no surprise that Councilmember Chin is actually being backed by the Real Estate Board of New York. They're one of her biggest backers. This PAC has picked her as one of their top 3 picks in the city, and they are pouring hundreds of thousands into this race to buy the council seat for Margaret Chin, because they know she will do whatever they want. So land use will be my top priority in the council, and I'm going to make sure that people are represented. The second thing is bids. There were 3, right? You wanted bids.
But real quick.
Okay. So Councilmember Chin has again given our community away to developers through setting up multiple bids in our district. The Chinatown bid had more objections to it than any bid in New York City. Nobody wanted this bid, and she still implemented it. This is an extra tax on small businesses. And who does the tax go to? Big real estate developers. Okay. Again in Soho, she's on her way to creating another bid against widespread community opposition from the people who built Soho. We have to ask, who is Councilmember Chin serving? Is she serving us? Because it seems like she's just serving big real estate interests.
Margaret, do you want candidates? I think we start now with Jennifer. Is that right? Yeah. In terms of schools, describe in concrete, practical terms how a parent would be better off with you as their council member.
Parents come to me all the time in my district, since I'm the district leader in Battery Park City. And they tell me, Jennifer, getting my child into school here is harder than getting into Harvard. So this speaks to the massive overcrowding problem that we have in our district. The population has increased 91% since 2001. We need a council member in there who's going to be able to be proactive and build more schools. Now, when Margaret Chin ran in 2009, she promised more schools. Where are the schools? I can tell you this, she gave away a school in the NYU negotiations, which was already so terrible for the community. Our one little hope was that we could get a school from the NYU as in return for them expanding. It turns out the borough president was able to get a site for a school, and Margaret Chin was so bad at negotiating that she gave it away. Now we need someone in there who knows how to negotiate, and as a civil rights lawyer, I know how to sit across from a big corporate executive and advocate for my client when they're very vulnerable. And I know how to sit across that negotiating table and how to win. And that's what I will do for you as a city council member.
On the city council, I've advocated for more capital dollars for school. I sit in the overcrowding task force that's organized by Speaker Silver. We work together to get a new school, the Peckslip School, the old post office. That's being renovated, and we got DOE to expand the budget and increase the size of that school to more than 600 seats. Furthermore, the school in NYU is still there. SCA has the opportunity to opt in by 2014, and then we can allocate the budget on the school. Just like in Lower Manhattan, we're so proud that we have Eric Greenlee, who can help us do the analysis to show that we need more than 1,000 seats. And we were able to successfully get DOE to agree with us that they are going to put in 1,000 more seats in Lower Manhattan. The next thing that we got to do is to find additional school sites. And that's why I have asked the SCA to do a full survey of 22 Reed Street, a city-owned building, so that that could be the next public school in Lower Manhattan. The other thing that I've done is I've worked with parents in the Lower East Side, and we saved PS 137 from being closed. It was one of the schools on the hit list to be closed, but we worked with the parents, we worked with the principal, and we also allocated funding for them to have after-school program and computers, smart boards, so that we can help the student progress. And that school right now is doing better, and they're not going to be closed.
Actually, I just like to, we got solicited questions from readers, and I'd just like to ask quickly. One of those questions was regarding the NYU site school, that the period in which the decision must be made was shortened from 2024 to 2014, apparently at the last minute of the negotiations, and the reader is saying this was under your watch, and killing any chance, almost any chance that a school would be built there. I know this is a specific question, but can you address that, how that happened?
No, the main thing is that we don't want to have the site just sit there. We also want to pressure SCA to make a decision. All they have to do is opt in, and then we can allocate the funding later on. If they decided that there is no need for a public school, there are other schools that's being built, then at least the site will not be turned back to NYU. It will be turned into a community center. They will have to build out a full 25,000 square feet community facility in the village.
Okay, then in this round,
Can I answer the question too?
Oh, yes.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because that's exactly right. Under Councilmember Chin's watch, she let NYU, the amount of time it had to commit to building that school, be reduced from 2025 to 2014. So effectively what happened is Margaret Chin went into the negotiation and came out with less than what she started with. We need a council member that can get in there and get more concessions for the community, not less.
In this round,
Jennifer, now it's your turn to ask Margaret a question.
Okay, great. Well, I will stick with the same line of questioning. In the last debate, council member, I asked you to disavow the support of the outside real estate PAC that's pouring hundreds of thousands of dollars into your race to buy this council seat. And you told me during that debate, I can't do anything about it. Have you changed your mind?
These are independence expenditures, all right? That is under the Citizen United. Those are the expenditures that we have no contact with. And I have spoken out many times saying that I do not want their support. I don't know what they're buying because I am only beholden to my constituents. Right? So, you keep saying those things. You look at my record in terms of who are endorsing me. And my over 30 years of track record of fighting for tenants, fighting for immigrant family, all the progressive union like 1199, UFT, 32BJ, working family parties are supporting my candidacy. These are the progressive unions. They're there for me. And so is my colleagues in the Progressive Caucus Alliance. We're out there right now recruiting more progressive city council candidates. And that's why we're supporting more of them so that we can grow the Progressive Caucus in the city council.
Okay, Jennifer, you have 1 minute.
Okay. Councilmember Chin's response when I asked her to disavow the real estate PAC that's trying to buy our council seat, her response is, I can't do anything. And that is the motto of her 4 years in office. I can't do anything. You got a big real estate developer who's going to destroy our neighborhood with 2 million square feet in Greenwich Village. Everyone comes to Councilmember Chin. Help us, Councilmember, help us. What does she say? I can't do anything. You got big real estate developers. They want to tax struggling businesses in Chinatown. The businesses say, help, help. They file more objections to this bid than any bid in New York City. Councilmember Chin says, I can't do anything about it. Happens again in the South Street Seaport. A Texas-based developer comes to the South Street Seaport, wants to take it over. The whole community, hundreds of people, come to the City Hall. Thousands of people sign a petition saying, please, help us. She says, I can't do anything. Well, we need a council member that can do something about it, and that is why I'm sitting here today. Friends, neighbors, the choice in this election is clear. You can vote for big real estate's candidate, the candidate of the big real estate industry, or you can vote for someone who will represent only you. So as we go into election day, I want you to keep this in mind. She's being financed almost completely, hundreds of thousands of dollars, by the real estate industry. They're trying to buy the council seat. So keep this in mind. Okay? Every single door knock from the Margaret Chin campaign is a knock by your landlord who wants to raise your rent and drive you out. Every single phone call. Every single phone call that you get from Margaret Chin is a phone call by a big real estate landlord who's trying to eat up all of your neighborhood's green space. And every mailing for the Margaret Chin campaign is a mailing by billionaires who would rather build luxury hotels to increase their profit than the new schools that our kids need.
Yep.
So, I think this election is clear. Big real estate candidate or someone who will represent only you. Thank you.